Jim, a win, first one in 4, away at Hitchin, a Hitchin side that have been on poor run of form really, but are always difficult to break down. You must be delighted with just the resilience of the team today.
Yeah, delighted with the resilience, the discipline, the shape, the togetherness. To have 4 new players in the group as well, and to show that togetherness that we had was great. And yeah, obviously, I think we were good value for the win. We did have to defend as well in the second half, which we did, and nullified them. I don't think they really opened us up. First half, we probably should have had a penalty with Ty. We had 3 or 4 other opportunities where other days it could go our favour. They maybe had 1 or 2 as well. So to come in without conceding at half time like we did against Stourbridge was a good thing, a tick in our box, and then something to build on for the second half, which we just needed to be disciplined and have good shape, which we did, and probably should have made it 2-0 at the end with Jack de Gruchy. But yeah, really professional performance and disciplined, good.
You mentioned there about having to defend as well. Was that probably one of the more complete performances that you've seen, from attacking, defending, the midfield, everyone just gelling?
I think it's the best for shape and discipline. There's no hiding behind the fact that in the league we are the 3rd worst goals conceded area. So that's something that we did mention today. We need to be mindful of that. Don't go going home and think you're going to go out and beat teams willy-nilly. You have to be strong and defend and earn the right to do that. And we did. We deserved that clean sheet thoroughly. Dan's had to make a good save in the second half. We've had to defend a couple of times off the line, which we've done quite sensibly. And in the end, that's given us the belief then to feel that actually, I think if they would have played another half hour, I would have felt confident that they wouldn't have scored. So that was a nice feeling. Probably we lacked a little bit more energy in the second half with Ty running out a little bit and Kane running out a bit, but Bruno and Luca did a really good job of doing that same job. So we didn't create enough in the second half, but actually to come away at Hitchin and the run that we've been on to keep a clean sheet and win away from home is superb. Yeah.
The last couple of weeks you've been quite active in bringing players in. You put all 4 of them into the starting lineup. Was it not just the quality that really impressed you about them today, but also maybe a complete change in mindset, having a fresh new batch of players coming in? Yeah,
potentially. They haven't felt some of the mediocrity that we've been involved in of late, which is ideal. They've come in fresh. But also sometimes you just have to take players out of that environment, give them a reset, and then start again. We've not really had the luxury of doing that with the strength in depth where we've lacked slightly, and some of those players have played a lot of games this year and been involved in some negative performances and results. So yeah, it's always nice really to take them out of that equation, bring someone new fresh, and then we can introduce them back in. So as a squad we're going to be much needed over the next few weeks. Obviously Tuesday is at home to Bromsgrove. We've got 2 or 3 other Tuesdays coming up due to postponement, so the squad's going to be important. And I thought it worked really well today, and luckily for us we defended well and we showed good discipline. The shape was excellent, the best I've seen since I've been here, and they're taking things on board and hopefully confidence to bring through in the next few games.
Is there sort of a motivational advantage to not being in that bottom 4 zone? I know you probably don't look too much at the table, but with what happened to Nuneaton and the Poppies started the game outside the bottom 4 for the first time in a little while, does that play a part in giving the team a little bit of a lift?
Depends on what type of person you are, but it was mentioned before the game. Look, that's a little win that was out of our hands, and as much as losing a team as big as Nuneaton is extremely sad, in this situation for Kettering it's been beneficial. So yeah, mindset to some of them might be right. We're out the relegation zone now. We don't want to drop back in there again. So that's potentially going to play on people's minds, and we have to be mindful of that. But really and truly, in general, we just need to be as good as that most games, as disciplined and shape, and then threatening going forward. It doesn't matter sometimes where you are in the league. It's just another game and you need to perform, so take each game as it comes. But yeah, certainly for some of them, they'll look at it, and we're now 4 points off the relegation zone now with a game in hand on Sudbury. So again, mentally that's something that they'll look at positively.
You mentioned it in your update at the fans forum about the games remaining. There's a lot of the sort of outside the top 10 still to play. How do you go about making sure that this performance isn't just a one-off and this is now the start of a corner being turned?
Well, again, depending on what type of person you are, you could say that you're playing teams outside of the top 10 some will get complacent because they think they're playing worse teams. Some will then see that as an incentive to go out and beat them. So yeah, it's a test of character just to see the ones there that are actually going to be able to turn in performances against teams that we feel that we should be, but also be able to grit and battle and put in a shift, you know, with the likes of Needham Market and Mikolova and Hauser and teams like that. So yeah, it's and having those extra 4, you know, lads in there shows a complete different character in those. And you know, within that team, we spoke about mentality before. It's the ones that we want to latch onto that and create a positive environment. And so far, obviously, this win will help. And so far in training, it's been great. Really good environment. The intensity on Thursday night was superb. And now, you know, players will know that there's healthy competition. No one's a shoo-in. You know, you just got to perform. But we'll need all that squad together. And so, you know, we'll be hoping that everyone's fit and ready to go.
Just finally, the fans travelled today in quite loud numbers as well for an away game. You know, Tuesday night is going to be the first home game for a very long time for the football club. How important is it that they, if they can, turn out on Tuesday and then again at the other home games that we've got over the next few weeks, just to give you that extra little lift that you want and that you need?
Yeah, we are privileged to have the supporters that we have. You know, the amount of fans that support the club, especially at home, travel in numbers, and today there was a lot there, and obviously full of voice throughout the game. And we want more of that. The players buzz off that. They talk about it. They see it as a positive. They want as many people as possible to travel away from home. It's much appreciated, and obviously at home as well. You know, where we want to now make it our fortress. We've got 11 games at home, which is, you know, I think that's out of 16 or 17 left now. So majority games are at home. We want to put in performances like this to incentivise them to come to Latimer Park and then create that our fortress and be as loud as possible. So yeah, superb. Supporters have been great, and hopefully they can continue that in numbers.
Jim, thank you. See you Tuesday.
Thank you.